Sam, where are you standing right now?
Good question. We should probably explain. So this is my home, and this is a small 2,000 square foot or so meadow that I created in 2019, I believe. And yeah, I'm a meadow snob. I create so many meadows for people that are full of colorful flowers and all these really showy species, and I wanted a very soft, green, quiet place to relax at the end of a day. So this is my personal meadow that I use as my lab. I experiment with different plant combinations. I have strange hydrology here because of a leaky pond, so I can use obligate wetland species right next to obligate upland species, and this is how I continue experimenting with my meadow restoration efforts. That's a great place to relax.
Hey, Sam, is that a meadow?
No, that's actually lawn that I decided to stop mowing. I'm a scientist, I can get away with these things. This that I'm standing on is exactly the same plant community, but this area is still regularly mowed, like a lawn. I've stopped mowing all of that area there, and I'm seeing what plants are coming up. This is more of what we would call an old field in ecology. It's a site that is no longer managed, that was once clear, in this case for a lawn, and now we're getting these early site colonizer species showing up, like asters and goldenrods and some woody species, a lot of black walnut. That's because squirrels are hiding them in my yard and forgetting where the seeds are. But this is not a meadow. I've got meadow up here, and I can take you over to it. So we're walking on a mowed lawn. To our left is a lawn that I simply stopped mowing for a few years to see what would happen. And now on our right, this is an actively restored meadow where we cleared the area and then scattered all the seeds of the plants that we wanted. And I've since planted plants exactly where I want them as plugs to add extra character to the meadow. So, lawn, unmowed lawn, and a meadow.
Hey, Sam. So some people might say that this meadow looks a little bit messy. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? So messiness is subjective, but I completely understand that there are people that live in residential areas that may have more restrictions than I have on the type of vegetation they maintain in their property. Now, messiness is often good for our purposes of supporting biodiversity and enhancing ecological value at a site, like protecting water quality and all that good stuff. If you're in a residential area, you can choose plants with our guidance that are shorter or don't make such a mess when they shed their flowers and all that sort of good stuff. So this meadow is what I wanted for my property, and you can tell my property is a work in progress with a deck that's falling apart. So I'm working with what I want to accomplish my goals of supporting small insects that live in this scale. You know, it's a very small site. And for a lot of landowners we work with, we focus on balancing all the benefits you get from a meadow, like enhancing water quality and promoting biodiversity, with the aesthetics. Most of the meadow information out there leans mostly into how pretty a meadow looks, and it's less about the value that you get from that meadow for the environment. And we work to promote that ecological value first, and then help landowners maintain the aesthetics that they want for their landscape. So, why convert a lawn to a meadow? Well, lawns are a ubiquitous feature, right? Everyone has a lawn. If you have land, you probably have some lawn. But a lawn doesn't really do much for the environment. In fact, it can often be quite a detriment. It represents no habitat for wildlife. Lawns and the way they're managed, with sometimes fertilizer, sometimes pesticide, and the constant mowing, can affect environmental health, such as degrading water quality when lawns are filled with fertilizer right near a water body. So a meadow represents an alternative to a lawn. It's still a low-growing plant community, so you can see over it. You know, it's not a big woody thing that falls on your house, but it's something that has a lot of ecological value. These meadows increase water quality. They build soil organic matter. They provide food and shelter for beneficial insects like butterflies and bees. That is, well, many reasons why you might convert some or all of your lawn to a meadow. And you'll notice that this is my property. I have lawn and meadow. I have both. So it's not all or the other. Every little bit you can do is really, really important.